What's up, everybody? Andrew Mahone here with Tricky Jim. Going to be playing a game on PTCGO today, and today I'm testing Malamar. This is the list that Rahul Reddy used to get 10th place at the Cancun special event. I also know that Sam Chen finished very well with a similar list, and the cool thing about this Malamar deck is that it actually plays a Mewtwo GX. The Mewtwo GX has this GX attack which goes through effects on the defending Pokemon, so that means that when a Dawnwing's Necrozma uses its GX attack to make itself invincible, the Mewtwo GX can counter that by going through. It's kind of like a shred attack, things like that. It ignores effects on the defending Pokemon, does 200 damage. So pretty cool stuff. Nice little tech there for the Malamar mirror. It's also playing a Clefairy in it, which has Metronome, which can copy the defending Pokemon's attacks. I think that the Clefairy is a very good idea because the Clefairy can actually copy the defending opponent's attacks, even if they haven't used an attack that last turn. So I really do like that as well, because you're not just dependent on the opponent to attack in order to get going. Now, this is a beautiful starting hand. This is about as good as it gets for us here. So we're going to start off, hopefully Lele for this Bridget. Yep, and we're going to Bridget. Then turn 2, we've got a bunch of Psychic Energy to discard. I could actually see just going in and Ultra Balling for, we're going to get a Malamar, 2 Inkays, and probably the Dawnwings here, because we were playing against Buzzwole, so we're going to get these. And then I think actually I want to Ultra Ball preemptively, just in case my opponent ends me. Sometimes getting Psychic Energy into the discard pile can be tough. So I'm just going to go grab a Malamar early. Usually I don't recommend that, but this time I'm going to, just because you don't want to get yourself in a situation where maybe your opponent ends you and then you have trouble just getting the Psychic Energies in the discard pile. We're just going to take full advantage of that while we have it. Get the Malamar into our hand. If we get End, that is totally fine. Now, I do have a Psychic Energy on my Dawnwings, so we're looking like we could get a turn 2 attack here. We might not. We go with the Dawnwings Necrozma because it's got that invasion, meaning that we can attack without having to hit a Float Stone or anything like that. It's very quick. Now, my opponent could go for something like, Energy and Max Elixir to a benched Buzzwole and then not bring it into the active position, which I think would be really smart on their part. And then that means that if I go up with my own Dawnwings and attack the Rockruff, then they will be able to respond probably by taking 2 prizes against my Dawnwings. Now, Dawnwings is a little bit hefty. Oh, I am mistaken. This is not Buzzrock at all. Appears as if I am actually playing against Zoroark Lycanroc, so I should have paid a little bit more close attention to my opponent's loading screen, and I could have seen what sort of types they were playing their deck. If I had seen the dark type there, then I probably would have, I would have considered playing this opening hand a little bit different. Now, the bummer thing about this list, as it is that we don't actually play any way to deal with Zoroark effectively. So this is actually really rough. We have a bunch of Necrozmas, but the Necrozmas really take a ton of energy. It takes like 4 energy to knock out. Oh my gosh, they're not scared. You're telling me they're just not scared at all. That is wild. They're just going to leave that Rockruff there in the active, attach the energy to it. I guess it makes sense. Better than attaching the fighting energy anywhere else. So I will knock out this, I guess you're just inviting the return knockout. I would like to knock out this Rockruff here. I guess my opponent's thinking like, well, if he bites on knocking out the Rockruff, then it's just going to return knock me out with Zoroark. So I think I want to evolve here for sure. And then this is like situations where I really miss having like a Mew in these lists. I think Mew would be super good. I could maybe Max Elixir and I could Psychic Recharge onto a Lele. I think Lele is probably our safest bet right now. I don't want to Mysterious Treasure any of these cards away, so let's go in with the Max Elixir, see if we hit it. We do not. And then I could potentially get enough energy to attack with this Lele next turn, or this turn. And we didn't get everything that we need in order to do that. So I think what we do is we just start charging up this Necrozma here on the bench. So let's just start throwing in on this thing. Now this is rough because my opponent could just parallel me, and if they parallel me, that is just a tough situation for sure. So I think I just start loading onto this. I mean, but then that's super bad because my opponent can just Lycanroc that thing straight up. So I'm just in a tough spot. I probably should, as you can see, we are just in a tough spot. I mean, I could Hypnosis. That seems bad. I feel like I just bite it almost and just go with the Dawn Wings and knock out the Rockruff. I think the alternative is much worse. So I think I'm just going to go in, accelerate 1 here. The alternative to not attacking, if I don't attack, then my opponent can just go turn 2, Lycanroc, bring up whoever they want, and just knock it out. So I think I'm just going to try to trade here with my Necrozma. I might have enough Pokemon here to be able to, enough energy, to be able to respond to 1. So we're just going to Dark Flash this thing. Then I could potentially get 3 more energy onto this Necrozma GX next turn, which would allow me to Prismatic Burst and knock out a Zoroark GX. So we're going to try this. And like I said, the alternative, just the option of not attacking there, just leaves me super susceptible. Now, I am very weak to a potential Parallel City right now. Having to bump an Inkay and a Tapu Lele would be tough for sure. I do love just the consistency of this deck, though, with the Dawn Wings Necrozmas getting out there quick, and the Max Elixirs. It increases your odds of a turn 2 Dark Flash dramatically, and I really do like that a lot. I think that's very strong, very good. Obviously, you saw Bridget get to put in some work here, too. I've been back and forth on Bridget in this deck. I don't think it's completely necessary. You could play a Lily instead, but I have seen it work, too, so it definitely is a solid option to have to get your board set up. If you also just have Ultra Balls, Energies, and things like that in your starting hand, then why not Bridget? But sometimes you don't always have that. As we can see, I was correct there. The Parallel coming right on down. Parallel is so good against this Malamar deck, which is why we play it ourselves. Obviously, we want to try and get the Parallel down first. Now, that is an argument for playing a Lily instead of maybe Bridget. You can get your own Parallel going first, and before your opponent, because you're playing a draw card on the first turn of the game, not just a search card as your supporter. So that is something that we have to think about as well, kind of mull over. But it seems to be that the metagame is narrowing down to we've got our Malamar decks heading into Madison Regional Championships. We've got our Zoroark decks heading into the Madison Regional Championships. Got our Buzzwole decks, of course. Greninja, not the GX, the regular Greninja deck is always going to be a deck that is on people's minds. Definitely a deck that I want to consider thinking about. It's not the kind of deck that I typically am going to want to play. I had a bad experience with Greninja at Worlds one year, and it kind of turned me off from the deck forever. But I have to admit, Greninja Break is definitely an option. So let's see what we got going on here. Okay, we're going to promote the Malamar. We need to hit a Floatstone off of this Sycamore. We play 4, and sure enough, there's my Parallel City, which is not doing anything. All right, so let's get rid of our Parallel City there. I think we just go get another Inkay. This thing is not doing anything for us, right? No, Psystrike GX, 200 damage. Not playing any sort of damage modification, anything like that. So we have to, we're not playing Choice Band. Choice Band wouldn't matter. It would. We could do 230, which is actually 210. So that could be okay. I think we actually go and get another Inkay and just have to set up another Malamar in order to try and stream attacks here. We do get to Psychic Recharge twice, but we're going to save that for the end of the turn. And I think we just attach here and hope for a Floatstone. All right, let's see what we got here. Can we get a Floatstone? We did. Thank goodness, really. For real. That would have been pretty sad. So let's do the Psychic Recharge. What are we at? 2 something, a 190 right now. We're at 190, and then we need the one more. Yep, so let's go ahead and do that as well. And yeah, so we out here right now. Just, grinding. I don't really know. I'm assuming that my opponent is going to return, knock this thing out, but I don't know. Maybe they don't. Maybe I can finagle something here. I do need an extra bench space for my other Dawn Wings, but I had to slap the third Malamar down. There's no other way for us to get repeated 4 energy on this thing unless I have that down. Now, I could Blackray GX, but I think, yeah, we just got to take care of business while we have the Prismatic Burst for knockout. We definitely do that here since we did have enough energy in play, and we'll figure out how we get out of this situation next turn. We'll figure out where we go from here. This parallel is so bad for us, though. You could just see how devastating this is. I don't have a way to get this Necrozma GX back to the bench. I need to draw myself a Field Blower. We're only playing 2 in this list right now, so I desperately need that. Now I could like attach Floatstone, Retreat, maybe Hypnosis. I mean, that all seems super suboptimal, so I don't really love that. If I get End right here, that is like not good. My opponent End, yeah, End, and then if they just smack me with that Mewtwo, even if they just get like a Choice Band on it or something like that, they're still doing 100 damage, threatening a 2-hit knockout. And wow, this is actually not bad for us. We can do something with this. We can like almost do something with this. We can't because we don't have a free retreater. My opponent actually hit the Field Blower last turn. So we're almost in business with this hand, but not quite. We can't even knock out a Mewtwo with a Psychic Sphere. It's not even an option for us. We need to try and finagle something else. I think we do need to load a couple of energy onto this Necrozma. We have to hope that my opponent whiffs the DCE here to knock this Necrozma out. You can see that this list is not playing the Malamar anymore. This is not the Malamar, the Marshadow. Oh, my opponent does not have it. Okay. Oh, check that out. This is insane. We actually have we have a lot here. So this is really, really good. I think what we do, I think we just knock out this. Oh, I wish we could knock out the Lele. We can't knock out the Lele. And we can't actually knock out any of these Zoroarks either, because I need a Mysterious Treasure for the last thing here. I think we just go and Prismatic or Black Ray GX potentially. Black Ray GX would be very good. Alternatively, we can knock out a Zorua is an option for us. I think, okay, we Mysterious Treasure. We set up our third Malamar. That seems really good. So we're going to do that. So we have the juice. We've got 3 Malamars in play. I like that. Now what we can do is we can put the Flowstone on the Necrozma, retreat. We can do the Psychic Recharge a couple of times, and then go in Black Ray GX. That leaves me super susceptible to this Mewtwo here, though. I mean, my opponent would have to hit another Floatstone. I'm pretty sure they have. That's their one, and usually these lists only play like 1 Floatstone, so I could wager that they just don't have Floatstone. I actually kind of like that. So let's take a chance. I think we're gonna retreat here. I could go, and then I could like blow up the Zorua, or I could go blow up the Mewtwo. But I think I like leaving myself in a situation where I can take 3 prizes the following turn. I have a 0 card hand, you know, so like I think we leave ourselves in a situation where I'm going to end up taking prizes. I don't think I blow up the Mewtwo. I think I do. I think I just go in here. So let's do this. We're going to try to Black Ray GX here. This should make everything on my opponent's board much easier to knock out. Now, I can get burned. I mean, if my opponent does Acerola me or something like that, that could be bad, but I'm not exactly sure where else I could have gone. I mean, maybe the blow up the Mewtwo. I mean, that does bring me to 2 prizes, but then I feel like I just have a really difficult time taking my final 2 prizes here. I feel like this gave me the best shot at success. So we're going to see. I mean, we're just going to have to watch and see here. I honestly am not quite sure what the best maneuver was. I mean, this is my, I'm still learning the Malamar deck. I haven't done a lot of, actually 0. I've done 0 testing against Zoroark decks. So I'm still learning this stuff kind of as you guys are watching, which means, yes, I have a lot of work cut out for me between here and Madison because I want to do as well as I can at Madison. My opponent probably is looking to get that 3rd Zoroark. They'd like to get the 3rd Zoroark into play, get themselves an extra trade. I think Acerola is going to be their money play. If they can Acerola and knock me out with Mewtwo, 2, 4, 6, 8, they would also need a Choice Band. So they would need a lot of pieces there. They need Acerola, DCE, Choice Band. If they got that, I mean, I'm out. Unless I'd have to top deck something fantastic. in order to make it out of that one. But I'm pretty sure that would just be a game-winning play. Now, that is a very specific 3-card combination that we were asking for. They're going to Ultra Ball, so maybe they're going to Ultra Ball for the Lele, get the Acerola. That would be pretty brutal. And they probably have that available to them, I have to imagine. But if they... Oh, they're getting another Zoroark. Okay. If they Acerola and then just DC Mewtwo me, that's fine. I mean, then I'm just going to Prismatic Burst the Mewtwo, knock it out, and then I'm pretty much exactly where I was a turn ago, where the Mewtwo doesn't score a knockout on me, and I get a knockout on Mewtwo, but then I also have a little bit more damage on board. Oh, goodness. It looks like my opponent's going to Mallow. So maybe they will score a knockout here if they have a second Floatstone in deck. I was kind of wagering that they wouldn't have a second Floatstone in deck. A lot of these lists are only playing one. So if they are able to get themselves Floatstone Choice Band or a combination of cards that could maybe get them Floatstone Choice Band, they do have their third Field Blower in the discard pile. I highly doubt they're playing 4. So yeah, they can't do any sort of like Field Blower off their own Floatstone double puzzle shenanigans. I have to imagine, here's the Zoroark, I have to imagine that they are going to get Floatstone Choice Band, something like that, and then that they have DCE in deck, that in hand. That's my suspicion. That could really ruin me. This is not good. Do they have the Choice Band also? Oh, no, they don't. And it's not a knockout. Thank goodness. Okay, so we're right, like pretty much exactly where we were here. We've got another Psychic Energy, which doesn't really do us any good. I feel like we just have to Prismatic Burst and hope that we can finish this game off. I mean, I don't have any other options. I have like such a small hand. And like, my goodness, this is one of my issues with this deck, because I feel like it just gets end so hard. And I mean, I liked Oranguru in here for a while. I understand there's not a ton of bench space for it right now, but you can see I'm just going through the motions here with not a lot else going on. I'm just I'm just sitting here at the whim of my top decks. I mean, there's nothing else, no sort of juice here in my deck can save this situation, except for maybe a Sycamore, Ultra Ball, anything like that. You obviously don't want to attach this last Psychic Energy. I need to save it in case I top deck an Ultra Ball. If I top deck an Ultra Ball, I can go get a Lele, but that's even rough because then I'm going to also have to find a Field Blower in order to get rid of this, in order to get another attacker down. So we're just in a tough situation no matter what. I don't think that there's any way I can win this next turn. I would have to be able to bring up, I mean, I can't even, you would think if I had Guzma, maybe I could knock out this with a Malamar, but I can't. The deck does not play Choice Band, so it's not an option. Got to promote a Malamar and see what we top deck. It's looking like, okay, we've got a Guzma. My goodness. How many Guzmas do we have in the discard pile? We have 1. So you're saying that I could double Guzma. That seems bad, but I mean, what else we got going on? We ain't got a lot else going on. So I think that, well, we could do 40 damage to this Zoroark GX over here. That seems not good. I think we just got to pass and hope that next turn I top deck a Pokemon. Yep. So we're just going to pass. I don't think we play the Guzma this turn. I think we just wait. Hopefully we top deck Mysterious Treasure. If we top deck Mysterious Treasure, we win. My opponent can't knock out all 3 Malamars right now. They're probably not going to end me. If I can top deck a Mysterious Treasure, I can throw 3 energies on anybody. Guzma, knock out the Lele. I doubt my opponent is going to end me here. So let's see what we got. Yep, they just go. They stay the course. Can I top deck? Ultra Ball won't do it. It needs to be a Mysterious Treasure or a Pokemon. Oh, we got it. Oh, that's insane. Woo boy. All right, we got Psychic Recharge and Psychic Recharge, and we are going to be able to win this game. That is insane. We were literally entirely dependent on our top decks there, but you could see waiting on the energy in the Guzma and just hoping that our top decks buffed out there was enough to get us to where we needed to go to win the game. So crazy little turn of events there at the end of the game. Didn't get to play a supporter for the final few turns of the game besides Guzma, but we were able to get there anyway. Obviously, the Malamars just established such a solid board position by themselves, always able to accelerate energy into play. So that is fantastic. Cool game there. Glad that was able to come down to such an exciting finish. Let's check out the list here real quick before we go so you guys can see this is the list again that Rahul got 10th with at the Cancun special event. And Sam Chen just didn't play the Mewtwo because he didn't have it, but the Mewtwo does seem cool. Psy Strike, it's not affected by any effects on your opponent's active Pokemon, so it goes through Malamar's the Moon's Eclipse GX there. That's pretty neat. And then I actually haven't looked at these other attacks yet. Full Burst does 30 damage times the amount of energy attached to this Pokemon. Solid as well, and Super Absorption heal 30. So yeah, Full Burst, I don't know, you could do something with Full Burst. You could load up a bunch of energy and just one-shot things. And then Psy Strike, obviously, is pretty cool there as an option. Then Clefairy with that Metronome, choose one of your opponent's active Pokemon's attacks and uses this attack. Very good. Definitely like that. I mean, it's good against a number of things. You could use it against Buzzwole. You could use it against the Mirror. You could use it against Gardevoir. I mean, there are numerous things you could use that Metronome for. So very, very cool there. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching the video. Let me know, what decks are you guys hyped on heading into the Madison Regional Championships? Are you going? If so, potentially you guys will see me there. So thank you all so much for watching the video. Make sure to check out the sweet links in the description for below, the Etsy store and the Patreon stuff. Thank you all for watching. Peace.